So Howie Roseman's back at it again, wheeling and dealing, always in the, trade rumors, always doing something, always scheming, always up to no good, working that phone. So, it's no secret, the Philadelphia Eagles, their wide receivers are trash, they're terrible. They can't even catch syphilis at a fucking gentleman's club. That's how bad they are. So, obviously, you want to make a move. You want to make a big splash. And the Eagles, they want to get Carson Wentz some weapons because right now they don't really have any. They traded for Dorial Green-Beckham prior to the start of the season. He hasn't really done that much. I mean, obviously, he's still got a lot to prove, and it's still kind of early for him in his tenure. But, I mean, the guy's a lazy route runner. We saw it on the opening possession yesterday, actually on Sunday, where, that 3rd and 4 doesn't even get his head around for the ball. So, a lot of Eagles fans are still hopeful. I guess I'll remain hopeful. But, he's getting more playing time. The snaps are increasing, and he's not getting any better. So, he's got a vicious stiff arm. He's good in the red zone, but I got to see more, So, people were talking about him being superstar, or he's just been, average. Nelson Aguilar's been pretty much better than him so far. I know you guys don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. So, Torrey Smith, let's start with him. So, he's a one-trick pony. He's a deep threat. His 17.2 yards per reception is second among active players, behind only Alshon Jackson. Speaking of Alshon Jackson, I would love to have him back on my team. I'll tell you that right now. But Smith, here's where I'm weary, and here's why I really don't want to trade for him. He's got a $9.6 million cap hit for the next 3 years. That's ridiculous. That's a lot of money. He's only had one 1,000-yard receiving season in his career. He's kind of overrated. He's not really, that great. He's not anything special. Now, I know Joe Douglas, was with him in Baltimore, and, I believe he drafted him, so, helped draft him. He was there in the evaluation process. So, I can see the connection. Eagles need a deep threat, all that. But Torrey Smith isn't the guy you want. When I first heard it yesterday, I was like, okay, maybe. And after delving into it further, I don't want him at all. Alshon Jeffery, though, that's a different story. I would love to get Alshon Jeffery. Now, it's got to be for the right price. And once you get him, you got to sign him immediately to an extension. Because if you don't, then you basically only have him for 10 games. And if you only have him for 10 games, it's really only 6. Because by the time he gets acclimated, by the time he learns the playbook, by the time he, kind of gets himself situated, there's only 6 games left in the season. It takes time for a new guy to come in and, learn everything. But, you can't deny the physical skill set that he brings to the table. He's, in my opinion, he's a top 10 receiver in the league. He'd be perfect for Carson Wentz. Wentz, obviously, he's going to want to go to receiver while he's here in Philadelphia. It took the Eagles 6 years to get Donovan McNabb one, until T.O. finally came to town. But with Jeffery, he'd be a perfect fit, for Wentz, because he's a guy that can get deep, and he makes contested catches. He's great at the back shoulder ball. Uses his body to box out defenders. He's actually, he's got some similarities to GB, but Jeffery obviously is just a lot better, obviously. DGB's average right now, and Jeffery's a great receiver. He gets hurt a lot. That's the problem. He's injury prone. So I'd be a little bit concerned about that, but sometimes you got to take a risk. And I would, potentially take a risk. But it's got to be for the right price. You don't want to give up all your draft picks for Alshon Jeffery. That's, so it's, for me, it's just got to be for the right price. So that's kind of how I feel about it. But, if we got Alshon Jeffery, I would be absolutely ecstatic. So that'd be great. Those are really my thoughts. Again, this is one of these individual quick videos that we're going to start doing, and we've been doing for the last week. So this is my second one. So let me know in the comment section below. Would you want Alshon Jeffery, and for what price would you want him for? So, it's probably going to be more than a second-round pick. I don't know. I really don't know. But, I'm not giving up my first. I would rather potentially take my chances at the end of the regular season and try to sign him in free agency. So, it's got to be for the right price. because there's only 10 games left in the season. So that's the kind of way I feel about it. But I mean, if you bring Alshon Jeffery in here, I will be thrilled. So I mean, it's there's two sides to it, but yeah, I like it. Peace out.